All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the Strat Corner Tech and Series podcast. This episode, we're going to be examining martial law, and I am your host, Scott, aka Jean. You can find me on TZ and SRK boards, and if you need to hit me up, please feel free to do so. I'm here with my co-host, Dan the Man, aka Jana Kazama, aka the T6 Troll. You've heard of him, you've maybe seen him, but you love him either way. How's it going, man?
It's going great. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to talk some tech and ready to talk some law. How about you?
I'm fantastic.
All right, great. Well, for those who don't know what this this podcast is all about, and for whatever reason skimmed over the preface that's on the site, which I put there for a reason, we're going to do an overview of one character at a time. Each podcast will focus on a different character. We're not going to do a move-by-move analysis, but just a summary of the character, some matchup issues, certain categories of the character that you're going to want to know about, whether you play them or play against them. So let's just get into it, if that's okay with you, Dan, unless you have something to...
That's absolutely okay with me.
All right. Well,
brought to you by Extends, by the way.
Oh, yes. little sponsorship support from the sponsors we don't have.
We're not even going to be shameful about it. Brought to you by Extends, makers of a happy dick.
Yes, there you go. I love it. I have several cases myself. The free trial, it works, I'm telling you.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Exactly. All right, so for those who don't really want to listen to a lot of this podcast, what we do is we start out with a little summary, and then we'll break it down even more from there. So for Law, what we have, his big weaknesses, he's got an issue with tracking to the left. So you're going to want to sidestep right against him. He doesn't have a lot of low crushes, and he has a little bit of a range problem. Other than that, he's really strong in all other areas, with the exception of maybe just generic juggle damage, so if you're in a wall-less stage. But typically in T6, you're going to find yourself with a lot of walls, so he's really strong there. So there's your little summary. If you want to take that, write that down, and then take it to a tournament with you. It should help a little bit.
And, for what it's worth, I think his range problem is only like fast mids that leave him in a decent situation, too. I wouldn't just drop that all on him.
Oh, no, yeah, he doesn't have a complete range problem. He still has some stuff. But you know what? Let's get into the more technical aspect of it and flesh that out a little bit. So you're saying that the long-range issues, pretty much he has back 2 too. If I'm not mistaken, like that's about it. Once you get past range 2, that's what he has.
And ultimately in high level play, it's just really going to be back 2 because they'll duck that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. But we like to show people what time it is sometimes. So
absolutely.
And that with whatever. But so you have the back 2, which is I want to say.
Well, like 14 or something, right?
Yeah. It's really quick, but if you do hit it, it does give you a really, really good situation if you're playing Law. I actually have the frame data.
I think it's the exact same on block as it is on hit, just the other way, if I'm not mistaken.
According to the data I got right now, it's -7 on block and +4 on hit.
Okay, so it's
It's a little, yeah, it is good on hit. Gives you a really, really good situation. So that's pretty much, I mean, you'll see that a lot in tournament play from my experience. And I don't know, it is really lacking from my opinion. I mean, back 2 is good. You get the +4 and then whatever the damage is on it. I think it's like 14 or something crazy like that. But
the real reason people won't attack after it's blocked so much is because they'll be looking for the low or the high, So you can get away with just throwing it out and, sometimes expecting to get a free mix-up opportunity. But know your situation. You are behind.
Absolutely, but it is compared to some other characters like a Fang who has shoulder and he has forward 3/4, whatever that new launcher is. That thing's pretty stupid for a long range poke. So relative to the rest of the cast, I mean, I would say he's definitely lacking at long range. So the problem is he gets in your face so quickly it's.
And a good player, you don't really always need the move that has the built-in, I'm going to come in, whatever. You can just start spacing out uppercut or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. So he has the range issue, but if you're playing Law, I mean, you can work around it for sure, and it is really, really quick. So if you do happen to nail it, you're right back in their grill with frames and advantage. So it's still really juicy, as much as it is a little bit of a downside. But okay, so we have that, and then also, and so the tracking issue. For whatever reason, and you can expand on this a little bit if you want to, Dan. I don't know if you're seeing this, but
extends on that.
Extends on that. More sponsorship support. Absolutely.
Willie Pop-Up loves that.
But they changed the Tekken system in T4, and then they changed it back to the old system in 5.0. And ever since then, he's had a little bit. Oh yeah, I know Minnesota loves their T4, but I'm not saying good or bad either way.
More or less, I'm apologizing for Tekken 5.
But when they went back to 5.0, ever since then, he's had a little bit of a problem tracking to his left. And for whatever reason, not a lot of people are taking advantage of this in T6. And I don't know if you're seeing the same thing.
Actually, Tekken 4, he was the worst tracking character in the game because of his left. You could just walk on him all day. Dragon Tail would miss everything.
Wow.
It was.
I didn't play T4 that much, but I didn't realize it was that bad.
He was like as bad as Ling was in Tekken 5 for that. I mean, you could just go.
Wow.
He would have been top tier if he could have tracked it all. It's my understanding, because he had that he could parry any move and then get a free launcher.
Yeah, which is really stupid, but you have what you have. So, but he still has the same problem in T6. I mean, it hasn't changed at all, and a lot of people were abusing that in T5. From what my experience is, I mean, I started as a Law player, and I even played Law in T6 until I made the switch to Armor King not too incredibly long ago. But I mean, I'm just not seeing people sidewalking him or sidestepping him. In my experience, sidestep is more reliable than sidewalk against him. But I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, his left side is still really weak. So if you're playing against him, I mean, you have to watch that. You gotta, obviously, everyone's throwing out down back 3, but that's pretty much like all he has. Anything that he has that tracks to the left is either low or it's not really. Yeah, it's not fast.
But you have back 4 for close range.
You do, but I mean, you have to remember that back 4, if you sidestep it and the back 4 hits you, the 3 can still whiff if they block. And if they happen to block the back 4, it's -9, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, -7. So, I mean, you're still not in a really good situation. So, if I ever play a Law, I mean, I'm sidestepping right all day long. And, I mean, even when I watch, Korean vids and stuff, I mean, people just are not sidestepping him, and I don't really know why. I mean, I don't know if you've been seeing anything or hearing anything about that, but...
Well, I don't know. Law is one of those characters. He has the tracking moves that he needs, as far as I can tell. And, having a low move that tracks is really, I don't know, in my opinion, better than even having a tracking mid. Just because it forces a mix-up, too. But, I mean, Law can just time his attacks, too. I never really see him as a real tracking, flawed character. Not anymore, anyways. Just having those moves back 4. I'm sure it's a shitty situation, but can't he also do back turn 1, 2, 3 if they do something slower?
For after the back 4?
Yep. When he goes back turn, you do back 4, and you're at -7 or whatever, but you have that option just to stop slower shit or whatever.
That's true, and he still has hop kick and stuff for crushes, but. I don't know, like, if he's in your grill, like, I've really had no problem tracking him. And if you take the down back 3, or sidestepping him, I mean, if you take the down back 3, okay, that sucks. I mean, it puts you in a shitty situation. But if he doesn't do a down back 3, I mean, you're at his side or in the back. And obviously, with the wall can complicate issues for you a little bit. But I don't know. Like, some people don't really, like you just said, you don't really see it as that big of a weakness, but
I gotcha.
Yeah, everything that I've seen. So I don't know. Maybe for anybody who's playing a lot of law players out there, it's something to try. Keep sidestepping, see what happens. But
For sure.
it's always worked for me. I mean, the rushdown stuff, and he does have stuff. I mean, you do have to be a little bit careful with it because if you're at like range 1 or 2 and you sidestep, and all of a sudden here comes a hammer of the gods, and here Zeus's lightning bolt is all of a sudden in your butt, and you're on the ground.
You're not a happy camper like that.
Yeah, you're not a happy camper. But enough of the bad stuff. How about the good stuff? So he does a ton of things really well, and I know that he's personally your number one, and I know a lot of people hold him to the number one slot. So, I mean, let's just go into some of the reasons why. So he has a little bit of the tracking issue and then the punishing at long range, but other than that, I mean, he's solid.
He's got really good jab punishers. He's got solid, 12-frame punishers.
Yeah. Oh, and that's one thing to note. Like, there's a lot of different things you can do at both 10 and 12 frames, and that's one thing that, in my opinion, makes him really scary, because at negative 10, if he's punishing, you have the 1-1-2 option, or you have the 2-2 back turn option. And it's
or 2-2.
Yeah, or even that, 2-4 or 2-2. And with the back turn option, then all of a sudden you have a whole new guessing game that you're all of a sudden in. And it's still the same as it always been. If 2-2 hits and you go into back turn 2 cannot be beat out. So, and it does track. So if you're looking for a tracking move, there you go. So one thing, I don't know if you see this very often, Dan, but I do notice that some people like to throw out the back turn down 4, and I really don't know why. That move is really slow, and
people love a load that can juggle. That's all I do. They'll do anything to try to hit one of those.
I remember when 6.0 came out, everybody was just like, the system and the way that it played, everybody's just like, hey, pick your launcher and just spam it. And I don't know, I guess some people still love to do that and throw out the back turn down 4.
That's the most abused strategy in the game.
Yeah, true, still is. But yeah, I don't really see that. I love with the 2-2, if it hits and then you go into back turn, I do love doing back turn 2 because the hit confirm box on that is, I mean, it's huge. But I do also love just doing down 3 and just going into generic low, and then
that is the very best.
I love that shit so much. That's my thing. When I actually played law, I usually did not punish with 1-1-2. I usually punished with 2-2, and then I got some goofy shit. And for those who don't know out there, when you are in back turn, it is a complete guessing game with your grab. They will always throw out the same arm every time. So you have a true guessing game with the grab if, like, you're in the wall or something.
If you're really having a hard time cracking them after that.
Yeah, if for whatever reason, they're just like, okay, I'm scared of your shit, I'm not moving. So, and another thing to, I guess, kind of move along into a different subject is grabs. His grabs are incredibly good. So his grabs, his 2 grab is insanely good, obviously. Gives you, obviously, the junkyard stuff, which presents real big okie issues if you're not used to getting up against him, because we had talked about it. Junkyard in the back does a lot of damage, and you're getting a full juggle. So if he throws you on the ground, pretty much just sit there. And we already discussed, I think, a little bit the down back 3 juice. So I mean, you're just going to have to eat it.
Tasty.
Yep. Just eat it, and then maybe side roll, and then get up. In fact, the only grab that I can think of where he really doesn't have a whole ton of okie is his 1 grab, where he throws you away, basically with a big fist of goodness. But
pain.
Yeah, but other than that, he has his 12 grab, which juggles. So obviously that's pretty rough, especially for a 1+2 break. And
that's a serious damage of that.
Serious damage, especially if there's walls. Not to mention, he has run on your face, and considering that you can do that with a forward motion, pretty tricky with the 1+2 break grab.
And
so
crazy animations of any variety, man.
Yeah.
They will mess with your reaction throw break and skizzles.
Absolutely. And even though the break window is, I think, a frame bigger on that, the forward, or I guess just one forward technically, forward +2 +3, it doesn't matter. I mean, when someone's throwing a kick at your knee and it's a grab, it's pretty tricky. So
I think it's even kind of pretty good that throw is a one break, because I mean, like you mentioned, his grabs has the least awesome Oki wake up games for those of you who are stupid. It having that as a one throw, I mean, with the tricky animation, I mean, you're less likely to go, that shit's broke. Because you're thinking two throw, both punches throw, those are the ones that are going to kill me, and then out of nowhere.
Yeah, he starts doing springboards off your chest. It's pretty rough. And ever since they made the change, because that was a big... I want to say it was DR that you couldn't do the forward. Maybe it was 5.0. I can't remember. But whenever they changed it so that you could do the forward, that's when that grab became really dangerous. Because the only downside to that grab ever is range. That was the only problem it ever had. And now that it doesn't have that problem anymore because you can do it out of a dash, pretty much sex all day long. It's extends love, yes, very much so. Okay, so we have all this Oki juice, and we mentioned down back 3. So I guess let's talk about some of the other lows that he has. Down 1 is juice, and to be completely honest with you, I don't see that enough. I mean, we talked about the tracking issue that
that's your fault, community.
Yeah,
that is your fault.
I agree. No one talks up that move as much as they should anymore, and
or as we do.
Yeah, we do. We love that move, and we were talking about the tracking issues, and that move tracks to his left and right, especially to his right. I mean, that move will, you could be behind him, he will still tap you right.
Fresh is faster than the Dragon Tail.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's not insanely faster, but it definitely is. And it crushes highs, very, very important.
Has that good risk reward on finishing the string, down 1-3.
Yeah. Because especially against the wall, because it wall splats, and if you have your back against the wall, a lot of people are either going to do one or two things. They're either going to do their panic button, which is usually a hop kick or some variant of a hop kick, or they're going to start
you're going to have to time that. You're going to have to beat the first hit too. I mean,
yeah,
that's one of the things you got to worry about when you're trying to crush moves is you got to worry about the timing of the low itself, because if you do it too late, you could still end up getting hit, and then you're frustrated. Do it too early, and they're still hitting you with the low move that you thought you could beat.
And that's one thing. I'm glad you mentioned timing, because whenever I use that move, even against good players, it's way slower than you would expect a low poke to be. So a lot of people try to parry just like at random, like, oh, here comes a move, I'm going to parry it.
Yep.
But it'll hit because they're just not used to the timing on the parry. So it's a little tricky in that respect.
People who don't like the low block and just reaction parry stuff, that'll still hit them.
Yeah, it should be noted, the follow-up 3, down 1-3, it's guaranteed if the down 1 hits counter hit. So if you're low or if you're high crushing with that low, really good juice right there. If it is blocked, the 3 is only -10. It is punishable, but I mean, with
very few characters are going to make you cry about that damage.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'll tell you what they are going to do if they do get that counter hit near the wall. They're going to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Nice.
That's Hall of Fame damage you're going to eat.
Nice. I like it very much. And it is, yeah, it pretty much is Hall of Fame damage. I mean, that's, God, at the wall. Well, okay, you know what? Let's just talk about that because we haven't talked about the wall juice yet. So, at the wall,
Law will fucking kill you.
Yeah, it's pretty much Hammer of the Gods or Forward 12 for people who don't know what gods use to hit people.
12.
It's 12.
For those of you without the 12 button on your pad.
The 1+2 button, otherwise known as 12.
You cheap fucking label makers.
So after the Forward 12, he can get Forward 4-3, DSS cancel into DSS Forward 3. And it's a lot of damage. Tons of damage. Because for whatever reason, That
And you have to
4-3.
fucking listen to them laugh at you.
Yeah, while they do it. And that 4-3, for whatever reason, hits clean. And for those who aren't really familiar with how Tekken competes damage, clean does a ton more. When it's like 120% damage, is that what it is? 120, 30, something ridiculous.
Something like that.
And why that hits clean at the wall after you've been bounded and are getting your shit pushed in, I don't know. But it's just the way it works.
Shit pushed in.
Yeah.
Like, if you're at the wall and you got bounded, you're receiving gay sex. You're on the other end.
Well, you know, like,
Your shit's pushed in.
yeah, you know, pants full of semen. You know,
Pants full.
It's pants full of semen. It is horrible. And to kind of compound the issue, if you're playing against,
Look at
I know. Hey, if you're playing,
We bring up extends and suddenly all this shit comes out. We got pant loads of semen. We got everything. We are the sexiest podcast on the internet.
pretty much, and more to come. I mean, this podcast still got a little ways to go, so we got to keep it rolling. Okay, so to compound the issue, if you're playing against him, he has insane wall carry. I think he has, with the exception of maybe Nina, he has the best wall carry in the game. Oh, really? Really? You're just over here?
I would throw Bruce. I would throw Lee. I would throw
Lee's good because he's got that down
he's got
to
that built-in
footage.
crap.
Yeah. I don't know. I actually would say that Bruce's wall carry is good, but ending a juggle with Law's 2-4-2.
Oh, it seriously does jack him and
I
everything.
mean, that goes so far. And the way that you just sit there and slide, I mean, his shit just hits so deep. Because what is Bruce's slam? What is it? It's I mean, he just has the kick one, right? Was it back 34 or something?
What are you talking about, slam?
Okay, if you're Bruce and you slam it, you get a wall splat, whether it be from a juggle or whatever, what's the bound move? It's the double kick,
Down
right?
3+4?
Down 3+4. There we go. That's it, right? I mean, what else does he have to bound?
I think he can do some other shit, too.
Well, because I'm just saying, like with Law, Hammer of the Gods hits really low. And if for whatever reason you can't get there in time for a Hammer of the Gods, you still have back 2-2, which has insane distance on it. And, you know, he may have a little bit of a distance issue, but back 2, it goes very far.
Back 2 is not a range problem move.
Yeah, no, not a range problem move at all. But, I mean, I'm just making the point, like, even in addition to the distance that move, the 2-4,
he really gets up there, yeah.
He gets there really fast. And if he can't make it, his move can. So it's
fair enough. I mean, he can close in after the juggle faster than like Bruce can or whatever.
Yeah, it's little ridiculous, I think. But I mean, it's what's there, and I mean, you have to watch for it if you're playing against.
You hear that, fans? We can have a debate and be friendly about it.
We can because we love each other.
I'm just gonna call him a motherfucker afterwards.
Yeah, but that's awesome. Nobody cares. Okay, so I do want to go backwards a little bit.
Just use extends.
Just use if you get one thing from this podcast, just use extends. That's all that matters.
Fuck my mom, whatever.
All right, so to kind of go back a little bit to the down one stuff, we should never forget about side mix-up, and the reason I bring that up is because after the down one, if that hits, you don't go any farther with it, even though it leaves you at 0, it does not look like it leaves you at 0 for one.
The fear of the second hit will give you frames.
Yes, that will give you frames, and, I mean, if you need to do some while standing forwards after it just to scare them a little bit,
While standing for DSS 2422.
Yep, that all guaranteed on counter hit if the while standing for hits counter hit. So noteworthy for those law players out there if you didn't know that. But you can just stop and just go straight into your while standing mix-ups. And for those
or go for some rainbow drop crossovers.
Yeah, we do love our rainbow drop crossovers.
That is one endorsed move by this podcast.
In fact, we're sponsoring that move. That's how good that move is. And for those who don't know what a rainbow drop is, I don't know how you don't, what rock you've been living under. It is full crouch and then up 34. And we do the up forward because we are crossover pros. And
we are.
That's what and
I actually crouched when you said that. You said it's full crouch because I want to make sure I'm helping you sell this. So like I'm physically crouching while you say that.
The ad goes on MTV tomorrow, kids. Tune in. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Rainbow drops.
If you want to see how Extends works, do that move in a tournament where I'm at, and I will show you the results.
Absolutely.
I will rip off my Calvin Kleins, and I will slap you with the evidence.
Oh man. And okay, not to not to derail the good the like legit top tier stuff, but some rainbow drop setups for those out there who want to know. 1-2. A forward 3, which is the fake flip, into rainbow drop, golden. Standard, I mean, you can take that to the bank and they'll pay you interest on it. You can also do slide in their face, then rainbow drop, very good. Most of those work if your opponent is a scrub and they just hold back. And
Yep.
yeah.
There's options they can do, but make no mistake, that shit is taster's choice.
It is taster's choice. Oh, and
it's the best part of waking them up.
And speaking of the whole wall splat issue, if you really want to get down and dirty, you can rainbow drop after you wall splat. I'm just saying. And it will all hit. It's like 50 hits, lots of pants full of semen. It's crazy. And if we are there at the tournament, we may pay you just for doing that. So.
This is the new rating system. Like, if you want to know how good a move is, we're not going to do it on a scale of 1 to 10. We're going to do how many loads you fill in your shorts. This is it does about 10 underwears out of 10, right?
I like that. I like that rating system. I think so.
10 boxers.
Yeah, this is the 10 out of 10 boxers. You're going to have to hit up your local Target and get a new set.
I like that Minnesota product right there.
Yes, there you go. All right, so back to lows. Let's go back to lows. Let's actually try to stay on track a little bit here. Okay.
All right, yeah.
So,
and if you can't do the just to get back on the wall filth real quick, if you can't do the 4-3 DSS forward 3, Scott here has the lowdown on how you execute that.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of a trick if you have some problem doing it. After you hit the hammer of the gods, if you do a little sidestep, most of the time, for me personally, I do a sidestep to the left. I think some people do it to the right, and it works just fine as well. But do a little sidestep.
Don't listen to them.
Then do forward 4-3, and then do your DSS cancel into forward 3. And it makes it a lot easier to hit. Also a note on that wall juggle. It works easier, obviously, on bigger characters. I usually don't even do it on the smaller characters. It's possible, but unless you are Korean in the pants, it's really...
Nobody really wants that one, right?
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. But if you want some more generic stuff, you can always do back 2-2 at the wall for your bound, and then Dragon's Tail and the follow-up 4. So down, back, 4-4. So, and it does pretty good damage, not nearly as much, but it's still filthy either way. So.
But Mr. Sean, won't I look like a scrub?
Yeah, but you know what? You'll be getting damage, and you'll get your W's, and you'll be leaving with the women's. So, that's really all that matters.
Yeah, nobody looks like a scrub when they leave with the women's.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's go back to the low stuff, because we were talking about the down one and the slide mix-ups and all that stuff. First of all, slide is still really good in this game, especially if you have an E slide. The motion is full crouch, down forward 3, but practice that shit. Just like a wave dash, if you get that down really quick, it's almost a punisher. I mean,
yeah, you can freeze your opponent just by like doing the motion without actually hitting the slide. They'll want to be moving around and everything, working on their spacing, but you can help limit their spacing when they have to worry about a low like that from anywhere.
Absolutely. And then I also want to talk about the generic lows, because you have back turn down 3, and then you also, for Law, he has to do down 34. Because he doesn't, it's down.
You have to hit down and Herschel Walker.
Down and Herschel Walker. Down 3+4. But, I mean, if you hit, and I know Minnesota, you especially, I mean, you love your generic lows.
I endorse that move. And it is the brokest.
Too. I mean, generic lows, even though, I mean, people like to cry about how they're -3 or whatever the hell, but...
a good player can deal with a generic low and all that shit, but... you still gotta do it. You gotta hit people low and risk for reward. I mean, these generic lows are where it's at. You got a 12-frame low move, and
yeah. And something else I should notice, or I should mention, because I remember I was chatting with another Iowa player, Omac. Cecil, for those who know him. And we were talking about Yoshi because he's a Yoshi player, and for the most part, Yoshi is garbage. But he has some stuff. And he has a sweeping move, and the reason I want to mention this is because it kind of goes along the same theory with generic lows. Even if it's kind of a junky move, like to return to law, like forward, 4, banana peel is garbage. That move is just not good. However, it gives your opponent something else to think about. So
that's what you got to do.
Even if it is the shittiest move on the planet, it does not matter. Unless it's like a 60-frame move where you can go bake a cake and come back and still block it, it's something else to think about. It's something else you have to look for, which means that you have more on the mind and you're not going to react as quickly. So
the more mix-ups that you force them to play, the more places their mind is other than what you're thinking, what you actually want to set up. We've had that conversation a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah, because there's a ton of people out there who are like, oh, that move sucks, so you just should not use it. And there are people, like even better players, I mean really good players out there who will, they'll see like maybe an intermediate player playing, and they'll try to give them some tips. And I always hear this out of their mouths. It's like, that move is crap. You should probably stop using that. I completely disagree. That move is crap. Keep using it.
I am the biggest supporter of that shit. You got moves like the Paul down forward 1-1-2. Stuff like that. I mean, sure, you can duck the second hit and get launched for half your life, but once they're worried about that move, you do a single down forward 1 with Paul, and now all of a sudden they've got other shit on their mind.
Yeah. And nobody is immune to getting rattled. So, like for Law, for instance, if you let's say that your 10-frame Punisher that you typically do 2-2, which was one of my faves. I didn't when I played Law. I usually didn't do 1-1-2. I did a lot of 2-2s to punish because I love his back turn game. And if you do back turn down 3 and you just keep doing it, it gets so annoying. But even if you're not in back turn, you just keep doing down 3+4 or down Herschel Walker. You just keep running Hall of Fame lows all over them. It gets frustrating.
We endorse Hall of Fame moves.
We do endorse Hall of Fame moves. And I cannot say that enough. I mean, the whole point is to get in their head. And especially if you know that they think it's a shitty move, the more
they're good. They're gonna get pissed.
Yeah, they'll be like, I cannot believe he's hitting me with that garbage.
Why does he keep using this stupid generic low kick? And here's a thing for you guys to keep in mind. Like, sure, it's 12 frames. The risk versus reward isn't that great or whatever, but it's so fast that it doesn't really matter. You're at minus on hit. You're at -2, I believe, and it's still worth the risk versus reward because for them to actually stop that move from hitting them, they have to do something other than spacing. You're fucking with their spacing, and all of a sudden you're at -2, but you're mentally, maybe at even because it hasn't quite registered that it hit them or whatever. And then on top of that, I mean, you're messing with the timing of the lows. We talked about the timing, like doing the down 1 with him. Mm-hmm. That shit hits so much slower, so now you're completely messing with them. And the best part about this generic low, the very best thing is that low, like moves that crush highs, actually crush highs faster than moves that crush lows.
Absolutely. That's important info.
If you're at, I think you have to be at 3 frames, like the impact frames. So 3 frames faster for your low move before you can actually get hit with a high move. Like for your low move to crush the high move. And then, sorry, I'm completely screwing it up this time.
No, that's okay. I know, I understand what you're saying, so.
All right. We're going to end up having to edit or something.
That's okay. I'll go through it. I'll cut that little piece out. Just keep going.
Okay. For a high move to hit a move that's supposed to crush a high, you have to be your hit execution frame, the one where it hits, has to be 3 frames faster than the low move. And then for a move to hit a move that's supposed to crush a low, it has to be 5 frames faster than the move that it's trying to beat. So I can't fucking say it.
No, that's okay. No, you're doing good. I know it's kind of confusing. But I think
I can't believe I did it so well the first time.
yeah, that's okay. But I think that everyone still understands what you mean by that. So I mean, you have to do it in order to crush a low. You have to do the move earlier, the low crush move earlier.
Yeah, you have to do it.
No, yeah, it makes sense. No, I understand what you're saying. And that's really important, especially for
5 frames for hop kicks, and it's 3 frames for. Yeah, standard hop kicks, it's 5 frames, and then for standard generic lows or whatever, it's 3 frames for activate the crush properties.
And for intermediate and beginner players out there, that's really crucial to know, because especially in a game like Tekken where crushing is so crucial to your survival in a round, I mean, you have to know that. I mean, you have to know why you're getting hit out of stuff, you know, why certain things aren't working or crushing properly. And I'm glad you brought up the crushing issue because, you know, Law's Dragon's Tail down back 4, crush it for a high crush move, it crushes way late. Way late. So, and that's one of the reasons that I try not to use that move nearly as much, because I used to love using that as a high crush, but
yeah, don't take those frames as word is bond for every move.
Yeah,
because you know, like Eddie's up 4 or Brian's up forward 3, they'll pretty much crush a low almost instantly, and you know, there are some moves that'll go under highs almost instantly, like Art of Phoenix for Ling or something.
Yeah. Yeah, crucial info. I'm glad you went into that because it's very important.
Yeah, you want to go learn your frames or whatever and figure out why after getting hit with 2 jabs and then they grab, why you can't low jab through it or something.
Excellent. Okay, so you mentioned you know, the hop kicks and stuff. That actually takes us to our next topic that I want to touch on, the whole launcher issues. And Law does not have any launcher issues. And if you're playing with him or playing against him, I mean, he has a really low-hitting hop kick, which is important to know, like especially if you play a character.
Like the hitbox?
Yeah, the hitbox is really low. So if you're playing against a character like, say, Eddie or whatever, I mean, that'll hit him out of relapse. And it's very important to know that his hop kick hits really low. And even though it's punishable at -12, I mean, it's still worth the risk a lot.
Half-life versus...
Yeah, especially if you're in a wall stage. Because if you're in a wall stage, if you even get half of your juggle before you hit the wall as Law, he's taking over 50%. I mean, he's taking way over 50% if you can hit the forward 3, DSS forward 3 bullshit. So, I mean, that's still way worth the risk. And then to make him even more gayer, like, he has the stupid spammable down forward 2. His generic down forward 2, but it's not quite as generic as you might think because it tracks a little bit. It hits really low. It may not.
It's probably the best one in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say so as well.
Some people like Paul's, but whatever, they're kind of the same.
Yeah, they are kind of the same. But I mean, his is. I mean, I guess from my experience, like Law's down forward 2 tends to hit a little sooner than Paul's does. And for whatever reason, like Law doesn't look like he ducks, but that will go under highs on occasion. So it's totally worth it to just sit there and spam that move sometimes. So
absolutely, and it's a bait that doubles as a, it's a spacing tool, etc.
Absolutely, and then to kind of go back on the whole crushing thing, he also has his flip kick. I don't think flip kicks are nearly as good as they used to be because pretty much everyone can launch flip kick now. But I mean, it's still good every once in a while. I mean, you still get super max damage off of it. So
for some people, you can even create a post-block mix-up or whatever by going to DSS.
Yeah, yeah, depending on how they punish. Like, there's certain characters like, say, I know Bruce, like, his Punisher is a knee. So, I mean, he's going to launch you with something that you can't parry, so it sucks. But, I mean, it's certainly worthwhile. And I'm glad you...
Know your matchups,
yeah,
kids. Know your
exactly.
matchups.
Know your matchups. Know what they can do to you. And I'm glad you mentioned the DSS cancel thing, because just in case we haven't mentioned it, Law can cancel into his down 12 stance from certain moves, and from kicks you have to cancel into a different stance called Dragon Fake Step, which is his back 12, and then you have to cancel that into DSS. But flip kicks is one of the moves that you can cancel into DSS, and there's a window there that he will automatically parry if anything comes at him, assuming that the move can be parried. But you mentioned that you can do that off of flip kicks. You can also do that off of while standing 1-2, and that move is absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, if slide mix-up wasn't already bad with Statue of Liberty, and for those who don't know Statue of Liberty,
you should.
Yeah, it's in New York. It's also known as While Standing 2, and you won't see it in Korean vids because they don't have it. And it's pretty much.
They hate America.
Yeah, they don't. They won't do it. They're always going to do hop kicks, flip, whatever.
I assume the majority of you are Americans.
Yeah.
You need to be doing Statue of Liberty.
You need to be dishing justice and freedom out to everybody. But while standing 1-2 is absolutely stupid. 13 frame Punisher puts you pretty much in the exact same situation as his 2 grab does, which is really stupid. After it hits you. The law player can get a guaranteed down back 4.
Well, just take your pants off and let him do whatever he has to do real quick.
Pretty much. Yeah, don't.
You're the prom queen, and he's completely loaded.
Exactly, and it's going to be a rough night for you. And the down, I mean, the down back 4 after
extends.
Extends. Yes.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. It's sponsorship support for the sponsors.
We want to get paid.
Yeah, but we do want to get paid eventually. Hopefully they'll Extends is listening. Somebody who works for Extends, let them know that we love them.
T-shirt or something.
And so anyway, after the while standing 1-2, down back 4 is guaranteed after that. So law players keep that in mind. But if you notice that your opponent is trying to stand up, you have Junkyard in the back all day, take him to the wall, lots of damage, pants full,
etc.
So
and you might be asking yourself, why would they try to get up? Well, because if they stay on the ground, they're going to eat clean damage on that dragon tail. So they want to try to move so that they can take a percentage less.
Yeah.
That would be the only reason your dumbass would ever try to get up.
Yeah, take about, 30, 40% less, something like that. So, if it's about to kill you, it's a significant chunk of change, so.
Or if you think you know your opponent.
Yeah, if you think you know your opponent, then it's certain.
But you might be making a mistake.
Okay, so he has to kind of go with the while standing 1-2. It makes his slide mix-up really dangerous now because if you're good enough, which I personally am not, I've tried, but you can hit confirm the 2 on while standing 1-2. The really tricky thing about that is the hit confirm window is actually smaller than the window they give you for the 2. So even the 2 may still come out even though you missed the hit confirm, which is really stupid.
So you're going to have a little Korean in your hands.
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. But it's worth it for sure if you can do it. And it's, like I said, it's 13 frames, and that actually takes us to another topic that's really important is Law's Punishers. That alone, puts him over so many other characters because the fact that he can get that much damage and that sick of a wake-up at 13 frames, pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. And then not to mention... at 11,
yeah, he's getting launcher damage when most characters are getting, axe kicks or whatever.
Garbage, pretty much. And then speaking of his, his 1 while standing 4, unlike a lot of other characters who just have the while standing 4, he can go into DSS off his while standing 4. So now not only are you eating at 11 frames, the 12 damage, guaranteed, you're also getting a DSS guessing game in your face, and there's nothing you can do about it. Which pretty stupid.
It cancels fast enough where he's getting more than the normal amount of frames off of his hit while standing 4.
Yeah. And then at 15 frames, you'll probably want to be safe and just do hop kick. But after 15, you need to be throwing.
It's freedom time, motherfucker!
It's freedom. And you need to let them know every time. In fact, if you use that move and we are around and we don't see you in a Liberty pose, expect to get slapped because you
did it wrong.
Yeah, you did
it wrong. You're not going to get as much damage. You're not going to get as many boxers of...
Yes, for those who don't know, doing the pose gives you more damage.
Increases sex appeal.
Oh, I like it. I like it. It's very.
We aren't just teaching you how to play Tekken. We're teaching you about life.
Yes, life lessons here on the sexiest podcast there is. Okay. So
This is where I want the board full of sound effects. See, we would be a much better show if we had a board full of sound effects.
you know what? I'm going to look for that just for you. I am going to hunt around for a board full of sound effects.
Wait, hold up though. If you can't find a board full of sound effects, I would even prefer Michael Winslow.
Yeah.
I would rather have Michael Winslow. We could just have him sitting around making the noises for us. And I'm going to offer this. This is the challenge to you, you listeners out there. I want you to post up in whatever thread we have on TZ or hunt us down, whatever, and tell us what you would do with Michael Winslow for a day if you had him for 24 hours.
Yes, a contest where you get nothing but maybe our respect.
And if you guys send us these responses,
we'll read them for sure.
We will. Every single one. I will be sitting there in my Hugh Hefner robe, and I will be having the time of my life with a full pant load.
Oh, I love it. It's too good. The challenge has been officially put out there for all you fans. Write us your letters. What you would do with Kevin Winslow? What
Michael.
There? Too funny. Well, never know. Maybe we can talk to Extends. Maybe we can get them to get him on the show for us. Be like, hey, we're you kind of sponsor us, but not really. But I mean, well.
The best I can do here to follow up a Michael. Now you're doing it to me. Oh, Michael Winslow and Extends team is I want to do like a boyo-yoing, but the best I can muster is like a Beavis and Butthead.
Hey, it's better than nothing. All right. Well, okay. So not to derail the topic too much, let's go back to our Statue of Liberty.
Business.
Okay. So those are his while standing punishers. So you got your while standing 4, while standing 1-2 at 13.
Comes to while standing, he is up there.
He's a beast. But at standing, arguably he's just as good. I mean, at 10 frames you get 1-1-2 or 2-2 or 2 forward 2-2. Pretty much whatever you want. I personally prefer the 2-2. Yeah. I personally prefer the 2-2 because it gives you the back turn games, and I think it does as much as the 1-1-2. So, I mean, I don't know. I never saw a real point to doing 1-1-2 when you can do 2-2. But at 12, he has 4-3, which cancels into DSS. So you have 4-3 plus mix-ups. And then
movie from the 90s, The Crying Game.
Yeah. And you also have 3-4, which wall splats. Very important to know if you're playing against Law and your back is against the wall. Don't throw.
And gives run-up Oki on open field hits.
Yeah, pretty fucking silly for 12 frames. At 14, he gets 3 plus 4, but yeah, who cares when you have 4-3 and 3-4 at 12.
It's good for maybe longer range, whatever.
I mean, we love our Herschel Walker moves, but
yes.
I mean, if you're going to do a Herschel Walker move, do 3-4, not 3 plus 4. So, and then at 15,
I would love to see like a comma on Herschel Walker
on his jersey. 3 comma.
I changed my mind.
Absolutely.
Days better shit.
And then at 15, you're launching with hop kick or down 4-2, whatever it may be. So
the only chink in the armor here. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
The only flaw to his punishing game comes to long range stuff. At best, he's getting like a back 2-2 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and we discussed that a little bit before. I mean, he does have, the distance issue because, he doesn't have a shoulder or anything like a Fang or an Armor King or something. But, I mean, at least you're getting your back 2, which gives you damage and frames in their face. It's something. It's still a weakness if you're playing against Law. I mean, it's something to consider. I mean, if you have moves, if you're playing a character that has good pushback, you'll have a little bit of an advantage there. But, yeah. That's how that goes. And
pun not intended. I'm just saying it.
And actually, to kind of continue with the launcher thing, one thing that I know that you're a big fan of, because for all your top tier characters, you consider it a must. The Magic 4, and his
have to have a Magic 4 to be top tier in my opinion.
Is very dirty. And his has always been dirty, but it's I mean, it's somehow gotten dirtier over the years.
Magic 4 or equivalent, but yeah. Laws is right up there. It's one of the best.
Yeah. Because, I mean, for those who don't know, off of Magic 4, you get 34, 34, and then you get your jab string that ends with you telling them what time it is. And all of a sudden you're at the wall, and it's
And it is always way past your bedtime.
yeah, way past your bedtime. So, and if you don't know how to tell time, kids, 2, 4, 2, 12. That's simple. That's how you tell people time. Law is the king of Rolex. I mean, he's the dude you see at the corner with the jacket and all the cheap ass knockoffs.
You Rolex. that's only DSS Forward 1 to me. I don't know.
Oh, the Rolex.
That's the official.
That's the official. The Big Ben.
That one's like Timex.
I like it. All right, well, that one more thing I did want to mention. Speaking of the 242 stuff, one thing that's like in videos and stuff that I started to see actually a little bit after T6 had been out. If you are having issues as a Law player with some tracking or some distance or whatever, his 2, just generic 2, will stop a lot of rush down that's in your face. But his forward 2 is essentially back 2 after a 2 jab. So if you're looking to kind of track with a decent mid poke, it's really, really useful to just throw out. Just 2 forward 2 and then stop at that. Because it's completely safe. If you hit, you have frames. Or if you wanted to finish, you certainly can do the 2 that follows.
I will never wrong you if you want to finish.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can also tell them what time it is if you feel it necessary. In fact, if the 2 it whiffs or is blocked and you hit the forward 2 on counter hit, telling time is guaranteed. So useful information if
Doesn't the high one, the 2 forward 2 2, doesn't that grant frames on block too?
I believe it does. That's why it's high. Let me check here in my handy dandy frame data. And for those out there who are looking for frame data, there's a few different places you can find it. Right now, I'm using the frame data that's up on avoidingthepuddle.com. I think that SD Tekken has frame data as well.
Quality website.
Yep, both quality websites.
SDTekken.com, he was saying.
Also, ENA Tekken, the ENA Wiki, which is belongs to like the Japanese magazine that gets like all the good info before anybody else does. If you can read Japanese,
cheating.
You can, yeah. If you can read it is cheating. But if you can read Japanese, or you can kind of decipher it a little bit, they have frame data on there as well. Okay, so the forward, the 2 forward 2 2, it is +4 on hit, but it's actually it says it's -9 on.
Are you talking?
So it does not grant frames on block.
Then I am the suck.
Yeah, that's actually pretty bad. So, but regardless, it does give you the +4 on hit. So I mean, if you do continue it, I mean, you're still at +4. The forward 2, if you stop at the forward 2. It also gives +4. But, I mean, if you're just trying to do a long-range poking game with Law, for whatever reason you're scared of going in, like if you're playing a Steve or whatever, which you should still be able to get in somehow. But it's still really, really useful, because if for whatever reason you guess wrong and they start coming in at you with a dash, the 2 will usually stop anything that comes out, and then you have the forward 2 that will reach. That has a huge reach. It'll track at the range that you're going to be throwing it out, and it's mid. So
moves with multiple hits are just essential to spacing.
Yeah,
period.
pretty much. That's exactly what it is.
You got to use your moves with other options. I mean, like we were talking about the Magic 4. I mean, another reason Law's Magic 4 is so good is, I mean, if you think that you can bait someone or whatever, you're going to screw up, you can do like 4 up 3, and now suddenly, even if they block the first hit rather than whiff, I mean, you're limiting their options for interrupting.
Yeah. And just a note for those, if you're playing against Law, if they're spamming 4 up 3 for whatever reason, the up 3, the flip, gives him a +1 on block. However, you can jab him out of it. So after you see the 4, if you see the pause that he's going to come flipping at you, you can jab it. So
I think you can even step it one way or something too. But it goes back to that suggestion that you're giving them more to think about.
Absolutely.
Now when they're seeing 4s, they're looking for you to flip.
Yeah. Which is really kind of a nightmare if they're just sitting there looking for that, because then you start doing 4-3, and they're just kind of eating it. So kind of nasty stuff. All right, well that's pretty much all I have. I think we covered, I mean, the essentials. Was there anything else that you could think of that you wanted to throw in there?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Well, let's talk about. Well, I should say for those, if you're just looking for no other conversation, you just want the essentials for law, feel free to turn off the podcast now.
The essentials with our bullshit.
Yeah,
still.
We do not recommend it because we have more bullshit coming. But
you need to stay here and listen to us talk about extends at least 10 more times.
Yeah, but if
double money for that.
If we've taken up already a huge chunk of your time, that's all we're really going to talk about for the technical aspects of the characters. So, but let's move on to tiers. Okay, so I know he's your number 1. I would probably put him as my number 3, but
what?
Yeah, no, I know what you're thinking.
Oh,
doesn't matter.
When are we going to talk about your other shitty characters?
We'll get there eventually, I promise. But okay, so his tier list. So you don't really think he has any bad matchups whatsoever?
No, that's one of his. I mean, there's people who can do well against him, and they also have magic 4s, etc. But he's just such a well-rounded character, and I mean, I would say, like characters like Paul, he probably benefits from lobbying, having his one weakness or whatever, because he can't punish Death Fist as well as, normal characters. Yeah, so they do better against him than normal characters do against Paul, but,
But against
overall
cast, no one really does as good as him.
Yeah.
See, I think I agree that he does very, very well against most of the cast, but I think that he does struggle against certain characters, like, for example, Nina. I think he has a big problem with Nina because of bullshit like Sidestep 2. And she can kind of run that game and that train on. I don't know, like, with a character like Nina, I almost see her as doing, like, everything he does, but a little bit better. Although she does have a tracking issue as well. But, like, especially that Sidestep 2 garbage, if you sidestep to his left, I mean, he has a really rough time dealing with that.
But I think that what he does better is the range. Like, as bad as his range might be, hers is kind of worse.
Really? You don't think, like, the 4-3 stuff and...
Well, 4-3 will get her killed.
Well, not if you're punishing with it.
Well, she probably wouldn't use that for, like, whiff punishing as much as, like, a back 1+4 or...
But that's her...
even a 1+4.
But, like, going back to, you mentioned Paul, 4-3 is the standard Death Fist punisher, right? I mean, that's still what that is? What?
She can use back 1+4.
Oh, really?
She can fucking kill him. And if he's close, I guess she just uppercuts.
Oh, yeah, of course. All right, well, that's pretty interesting. So, I mean, I guess he has some, I guess we're both in agreement, like, he does have, I mean, he is very, very well-rounded, very, very scary if you're playing against him, and, I mean, you're going to have a pretty, maybe not an easy time, but you're going to have an easier time if you're playing Law than a lot of other characters.
The game is pretty well balanced, though, kids. Don't get us wrong. If we say a character is crap, or if we say a character is easier to win with, or whatever, I mean...
Especially compared to other games. This game is ridiculously balanced.
But once you've established, that much, it's okay to start nitpicking. There are differences, reasons characters are better or worse.
Yeah. Okay, so... like, summed up in like 20 seconds, what do you think gives him an edge over everybody else?
It's his. I mean, he's just solid in every way. He's got the lows that he needs. He's got the magic 4. He's got the uppercut. He may not have the range, but every tool that he has supports other tools that he has. Like if you hit the down 1, his situation is so good. He has a follow-up that, risk for reward gets him solid, or he can, do the wall standing 4 for, the counter hit game, and then he has a slide mix-up, crossover, his grabs, everything supports another thing. If he hits you with a grab, you're screwed. There's another part to everything that he does. It's options. He has options.
I like that. I like that summary very much. All right, well, that is going to officially end our discussion of law, but we do have some general discussion stuff that I want to talk about. So for all those interested out there, okay, so we were talking about this.
Bookers leave.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day, and you and I. I mean, and
Should be dating.
Yeah, that too. But just our crews, Minnesota, Iowa.
You guys heard that?
We love our nicknames. We love our move nicknames. We love all that stuff. We love the garbage. We love the.
You gotta have a name for your moves. Show a little passion, people.
You do, absolutely. And the reason I bring that up is because I was listening to the most recent Avoiding the Puddle podcast, and they had both Slips. His real name is Brad, and then Shin, his cousin. And they had him on there, and Eris was talking about, like just going back to the tag days, what happened to STL, because they're not as prevalent as they were anymore. And one of the reasons, I mean, it was a long, lengthy, very interesting conversation, because those guys are just fucking wacky. But they were talking about how there aren't a lot of cool people in the scene anymore. And there are still cool people out there, I mean, as evidenced by this podcast.
They're right. They're right.
Yeah. However, I mean, you just don't see it anymore. Like, everyone gets...
Loud people.
Yeah.
You need to get people who are enthusiastic about the game.
Well, yeah, and you know what? Just go off on that, because I was going to ask you, like, what do you think about that? I mean, do you think that's true? There's not...
Oh, fuck yeah. You never see... I don't see, anyways... People screaming at the TV as much anymore. People who have nicknames, Unconkable. When he hits you with a giant swing, he yells, "Take that shit."
Oh, it is not just
personality.
Everyone around.
Yeah, everybody now. I mean, and people feed off that. It just adds so much to the scene, to everything. You got to be enthusiastic. Give your own nicknames. Find your own, gimmick for that shit.
Absolutely.
I remember seeing Bronson beat a Korean in a tournament, and afterwards he grabbed a can and it said "whoop ass." It was right on there. So he grabbed a can of whoop ass and slammed that shit right afterwards.
You know what? That kid, I swear, he is something else when it comes to shit talk. I remember when T5 came out and they had the fucking nationals down in Florida or whatever the fuck, and he had that money match with Jin Master. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, you were there. Oh wow!
Yes,
see, I didn't get to make the nationals, but I remember watching the video, and that motherfucker brought a California flag with him, and after he won, he was rolling around with that shit. It was ridiculous. Oh my god! But
that was a really close matchup, though. I mean, that was a hard fight.
That just like goes to show you like how much shit talk can get you. Because even if it's a nail biter, I mean, you expect the noise to be even louder. Where it's like, oh wow, I just whooped your ass. I don't care how close you got. I just beat it down. And I don't know, were you there?
All of my best tournament memories are like that. You go back to like Big D versus Mick in Tekken 4, and everybody remembers that video. There was screaming. We need some more Marvel Baby guys. That's what we need.
We do. We absolutely do. Do you remember we were there the Chicago Regional for T5? I can't remember if you were there, but I know Jake and Yuhi Bat, for those out there who don't know, and a couple other Minnesota people were there. But Tyson, a.k.a. King Fan, and you are old school if you know who he is. He was in that tournament, and he hit a fucking rolling death cradle on somebody, and he RDC'd this poor guy. I felt so bad for him, but Tim Fry Fury does a fucking RDC in the arcade on the floor after that.
Didn't he do it with a chair?
Yeah, he did do it with a chair. It was so fucking funny. I miss those days, man.
That chair was fucking toast, by the way. Tag slide would have killed him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, that was too good. That was so fucking fun.
So that's what we're asking here. We're telling people to be enthusiastic.
Yeah, I think
give us move names.
That was the point of me bringing that up, because I absolutely agree with those guys. You need to be loud. You need to be obnoxious. It makes the game fun. It just
personality.
Yeah, and you know, I'm all about the whole sponsorship support and stuff. I love that we're getting more community or more funding and all that other stuff for the community, but don't do it at the price of fun. I mean, don't slash.
For sure.
All
it is a game first and everything,
yeah,
too.
absolutely.
And you'd be surprised how much fun, you know, will make you a better player, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Passion.
Because you'll just be looking for the most random bullshit, so all this legit garbage doesn't even seem like anything to you.
I'm gonna tell you people right now, Kazuya back 3141, that move is taken. There is a name for it.
Skill check. Skill checked. Skill check, yes.
There is a name for it. That is the one you may not rename it.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Fuck
no,
off.
it's not allowed at all. Yeah, that's skill check forever. Okay, so good. I'm glad we brought that up. Let the kids out there know who are younger than 21 that they need to be talking shit and they need to stop.
You need to learn how to play the game.
Yeah, learn how to play the game the way it's meant to be played.
Pop some extends.
Exactly. Get a raging heart on while you're playing. If that doesn't throw your opponent off, I don't know what does.
Yeah, I find it hard to play guys when they're smuggling grapes right next to them.
I find it hard to play. So, okay, so that's it for that section. Okay, so
I was promised a secret.
Yes, I told you that I was going to have a little bit of a secret topic, although I kind of released the cat from the bag a little bit early. But that's okay, because now that you're ready, you know what it is, so let's do it. The last part of our podcast are going to be this special little section we're going to call Sound Off. And in this episode, our featured Sound Off host is going to be my co-host, Dan Janakazama. We may have our guests be the host of this segment if and when we have hosts on. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take 60 seconds and we're going to do exactly that, sound off. So,
hold on,
you ready? Are you getting ready over there?
Nope. Yep, I got to get ready.
Get ready?
I am not doing this with my pants on.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right. I am holding on.
A little sweaty here. All right.
Okay, so you have 60 seconds. Pick whatever topic you want, preferably
60 seconds and go.
Yeah, video game preferred, you know, because we love to chat video games in the communities. But you have 60 seconds, sir. What pisses you off? What irritates you? Tell us. Tell the people.
What pisses me off is these kids that are convinced Lars is top tier. I'm sorry. I know this isn't going to be popular, but suck my dick. This character is not, well, at least not number one. That's really what I'm saying. He's not number one. You can't be number one. He doesn't have a magic 4. He has basically one real tracking move that everyone is just, I don't know, gushing over. Back 1. What does that do on counter hit? I'm not scared of your shitty fucking poke. I'm going to space it out. I'm going to make you abuse it, and then I'm going to fucking kill you for it. Okay? It's a solid move, but it is not going to get you the game. And then he has shit for lows. He has shit for lows. Okay, he has forward, 4-3, and that's unseeable. At least he has that. But what happens if you block it? He's fucking launched. And second off, or third off, I guess, his wall carry, sure, I mean, it's decent or whatever, but a couple of his launchers require him to switch sides. So, like, and most importantly, his while standing launcher requires him to switch sides. How's that going to get him to the wall if you're intelligent enough to, you know, try to abuse your best lows when he's facing the wall? I mean,
we got a lot.
There's lots you can do, and then
right now going on.
Furthermore, he has no long range Punisher. His throw Oki fucking sucks. If he hits you with a throw, what's he gonna do to you? Nothing. And I mean, right there, shitty lows, shitty throw follow ups. That is not gonna kill a turtle that's just trying to space out your fucking uncounter hit property tracking.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, nice 60 seconds.
Fucking Fridays.
When we get to Lars, that is going to be a very fun discussion because, yeah, I know that you hate all the Lars love that's out there right now.
He has good tools here and there, but ugh.
Yeah,
he is so,
I think
people are just afraid of a new character with panic buttons.
Yeah, I think he's really solid. I think he's like a high mid character with the best panic button in the game. That's pretty much how I see him. However, I know
number one.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll get to Lars for sure. In fact, I'll make sure that we do him very, very soon after this one, so you can sound off for a whole hour and a half.
Please put your questions on the board. I'll be sure not to read them, and then we'll have lots not to talk about.
Nice. All right. Well, that was excellent. That was a very, very, very good inaugural sound off. I liked it. So I will end the podcast on that. Do you have anything, any ending notes before we let the people go on with their lives?
Extends.
Extends, yes. We're all about pleasing the women folk, people. All right.
We are.
You are game and you are ready.
If you aren't, I am with your girl.
Yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. All right. Well, it's been a fun time, everyone. We hope you learned something. If nothing else, Hall of Fame moves and justice. So, so yeah, have a good one and join us for the next one.